Welcome back to Behind the Scenes of the Waltons. If you're enjoying these videos, please do subscribe and hit the like button and turn on the notification so you'll know when I post a new one. Today, I'm going to be talking about my youngest sister, Elizabeth, played by the adorable Cami Cotler. When we first met Cami, when we were doing the homecoming, she was this just adorable little 5-year-old with this head of amazing red hair and this smile and brightness. She was just so much fun. She was like everybody's little sister that we all wanted to pick up and carry around. We all had such fun working with her. And of course she had, I think, one of the most iconic lines from the homecoming when she looked so innocent to our mother and said,
"I don't feel like a pissant."
I think that is a line I get quoted back to me as much as "Good night, Mary Ellen" or "Good night, John Boy." So that was the beginning of a lifelong friendship and love with Cami. It's often said in Hollywood, don't work with kids or animals. And I understand why that is, because they're such scene stealers. And Cami was such a scene stealer without even trying, and she was pretty precocious. I think she clued into some of that after a bit, that how she could get extra attention from cast and crew and everybody by being as cute as she was. And she was very intelligent. She had no trouble knowing her lines, learning them, remembering them, saying them on cue, and that was like right from the beginning as a 5-year-old. So she was perfectly cast as Elizabeth. Cami had quite a few allergies when she was young, and I'm sure being on the back lot with a lot of the smells and the dust, and on the sound stage, you know, the dust and whatnot really aggravated it. So she was on antihistamines a lot of the time. And so sometimes if you listen, she sounds a little plugged up because that was just allergies. And she would, she would sometimes very much sound like she had a cold or something. The other thing that I noticed a lot when she was young was that she couldn't get a big enough breath to say a whole line. So she would start a line, and partway through the line, she would just have to stop and take another breath to continue the line. And it was the sweetest little thing. I thought it was so adorable whenever I saw that. And when I happened to see an episode where she does that, it just always brings a smile to my face. I was already 14, so I didn't spend as much time just hanging around with Cami because I just didn't have as much in common with her. Of course, we were in the schoolroom together, but in the schoolroom, the 3 older children, which was me and Eric, who played Ben, and John, who played Jason, the 3 of us had a teacher who, taught the high school level, and then there was another teacher who taught Mary and David and Cami in the younger grades. At that point in time, even in school, we weren't doing the same subjects or necessarily dealing with the same teacher, although we shared a schoolroom together, all 6 of us. As we got older, Cami, of course, once she was into her teens, there didn't seem to be as much age difference, and so often all of the girls, me and Mary and Leslie Winston, who played Cindy, Ben's wife, we would hang out together, in one of our dressing rooms and share stories and tell little secrets to each other. And particularly when we were on the back lot, for sound purposes, we were often wearing body mics. And so we'd often forget we had them on, and we didn't necessarily have, although there was a switch, it was like in your back, and so you couldn't really reach it, and it wasn't good to turn them on and off. But the sound person would turn the volume off on it and stuff. But sometimes when we were in the trailer and we were sharing what we thought were like real secrets and probably weren't anything, suddenly we go, oh, "Are you wearing a mic?" It's like, oh my goodness, we didn't want people overhearing our little secrets. And I swear, sound people must hear all kinds of things when people are wearing body mics, and they have to be very trustworthy to and loyal to to their job to not be sharing some of the things that they probably hear actors reveal when they're wearing body mics. But we had a wonderful sound man, and I think he was entirely trustworthy, so we appreciated that. Cami has a younger brother, Jeffrey, and Jeffrey did a couple of episodes of the Waltons, including the episode where the two English children come to Walton's mountain. And like Cami, he's just cute as a button, so we enjoyed having Jeffrey on the set. And sometimes our siblings would be on set and would do background work in scenes, so I think most of us at some point had our siblings on set to be in the background of scenes that we were doing. So that was always fun. After the Waltons, Cami was very interested in education, and she spent quite a few years in school and studying abroad and on the East Coast and up in the Bay Area of California, and ultimately decided she wanted to be a teacher. And when she first started teaching, she actually taught in Virginia, right near the home of Earl Hamner, who created the Waltons. So I think that must have been quite a kick for her students to come into a classroom and be taught by Elizabeth Walton. I think after a bit, the parents and the families got very used to Cami's presence there, and I'm sure that it got to be just routine for them, but what a kick for those families. Cami has continued in the education field and now works with an environmental charter school, and we're very proud of everything that she is doing to help educate our next generation. So those are a few behind the scenes pieces of information about Cami Cottler, who played Elizabeth. And she's very active on social media, so you can interact with her on her Facebook page, and she quite often shares information about her recollections of our time together on the Waltons. So I'll see you next time on more behind the scenes of the Waltons.